How do I rename symbols such as variables and method names inside of C#? Well, to do this we use refactoring. Refactoring is a tool which will allow us to go and change or enhance the way our code looks, generally for readability purposes. To give an example of this, I want to load up a project that already has a lot of code in it, so we have some example areas. So I'm going to open up the precision project, which we used in the first volume of the XNA class.
Second volume, I do believe.
Oh, second volume.
Yes.
Okay. We used something that we used in the XNA class. The key being a project that has a lot of code in it, and thereby showing why you would really want to use something like refactoring. For this example, what I would like to do is say, what if we had intended to call the name position something else, like location? What if we intended that for it to be the name? Because very often when you're coding, you'll write something with some name, and later in time decide that it would make more sense for readability's sake for it to be named something else. As a matter of fact, you can spend almost as much time just meaning your code as you can writing it to begin with. So refactoring is really helpful because it speeds up this process. Now, saying, for example, we wish to change this name from position to location, the first thing that might come to mind is to do a simple find-replace operation on all of the source files. That would work, but it's not smart enough to tell the difference between the actual symbol that represents this public property and other places in code. For example, here in the cell class, when a call is made to get random screen position, a simple string replace is going to find this, as well as the actual property here. Now, to show this in action, let's go ahead and load up our refactoring. The easiest way we can do this is by clicking on the symbol in question and going to refactor where we have rename. And once we have brought up this window, we are now asked for what we would like to rename this to. We'll say location, hit OK, and we're presented with a preview of all the places where this will be changed, just in case there's some cases where we don't want to change the field. Though for all of these are classes that actually use that property, and therefore we would want to use all of them. We can see that there are several, or that there's a couple in actor, there's several in cell, several in enemy, and so on. So actually many places where this symbol is used. So if we click apply, we can now see that locally here in this first file, where we now have a property named location. If we look elsewhere, like the enemy class, suddenly we have references to things like this.location. If we look at the cell class, we'll note that the method name getRandomScreenPosition, however, has been left alone. So again, that's where the real value comes here, is that smart, and we'll look at things that only match that actual symbol. And one other thing to point out is that there is a shortcut to get to that more quickly, and that is the F2 key. So if we wish to change location back to position for some reason, we could simply hit F2 and go back to position, hit OK, apply to everything, and everything is back to position. So now we can quickly go in and try different names and see what works best for us. So that's going to wrap up this video.